Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo992 and today we're back for another brand new video, and as you can see around the place people, we are finally here with the video we have not only been hoping, we have not been praying, we have been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with a real tangible Rangers rumour that allows us to sink our teeth in and get the imagination going and start to plot and discuss whether or not we want this rumour to be true. So we're starting off 2023 off pretty damn well, in my opinion, as we're here to talk about Norwich City's current Norwich player Todd Cantwell, which is quite ironic given his last name, people, because I do not feel well today. So if the standard's not up to where we usually are, people, which is normally down here anyway, but that is why. But the show must go on. I'm not going to sit here and let you guys do no. We are going to truck on. We are going to get into it. We have a player profile, some stats to discuss, and a rumour to break down. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into what might end up being the very first signing under Michael Beale's reign as Rangers manager. And as this has been highly anticipated, we've just been waiting for a rumour to really just get lost in. Let's no faff around here, people. Let's just dive right into it. And as always, we'll start off with the player profile and start off with Mr. Todd Cantwell, who is a 24-year-old English midfielder who can play primarily as a left or a wide midfielder, I'd say. I wouldn't call him an out-and-out left winger, as it's not really his game, but he goes out there, he drifts in, he makes things happen, and he's a very flexible player as well, as he's played some of his career at centre mid and even on the right hand side as well, which sort of fits the bill if you remember the way we were signing players under Steven Gerrard previously, which obviously worked well in Michael Beale's system. It's very similar and it's very carbon copy of what we were looking to add to the team when we signed the likes of Joe Rebo, etc, and there is maybe links and little branches to like the Rebos, maybe even the Tillmans as well, when you actually look at the type of player Todd Cantwell is, because when it's good, people, when he's at it and when he's on it, he is a fantastic footballer to actually watch. I think the best way you can summarise it, if you just want me to be pretty blunt with it, is he's a cute footballer. The way he goes about his business, it's all flicks and tricks, it's nice little back heels, it's inventive style. Again, he's no a hard grafting type player that's just going to run about daft or anything like that. He's got that little bit about him very similar to a Tillman, which I'm sure would have just turned a lot of people off that's currently watching today's video, because I know not everybody likes that about Tillman. But when you look at the facts that Tillman has been our most creative player so far this season, his goals and assists, the way they are, is outshone our midfield for the last donkeys. People, you can understand why Michael Beale's seen that be a success and say, I want to add more players like that to unlock doors. And again, when he's at it, he's pretty damn good at unlocking those doors, and that's on either foot as well. He's primarily a right-footed player, I would say, even though he does play on the left-hand side, but he's flexible. You can watch him and you'll say, he's pretty much the typical modern-day footballer, what you actually want. Can go either way, can make it dangerous down the left hand side, or he can cut in and do some damage with his right. And you know, it's been really interesting to actually sit back over the last week, 8 days, whatever it's been, looking in to Todd Cantwell for today's video to try and paint you a picture of what this potential signing could really be and how he could impact this team. Because again, we've sat here and we've done this over the years, people. We've looked at so many players, and sometimes when you do that, you look at players and say, right, he's going to have to change his game there, or he's going to have to adjust, and that's going to be interesting to see how it goes. But what's the best thing about Todd Cantwell is, even if you look at this laddie for 10 seconds, if you see the way this laddie actually plays, it has you going back like that and saying, he's a Michael Beale player, he fits the style that Rangers are currently playing and has been playing since Michael Beale has became our gaffer. It's nearly a perfect fit, people, and again, it gets you pretty excited because there shouldn't be much adjustment time or work that needs to be done, because if you look at the freedom we give the likes of the Kents, the Tillmans and everything, like the way we ask them to play from going from side to side, the freedom, the movement, go and create and be creative, that's something we've heard Michael Beale say. That is what Cantwell brings to the table. He likes to maybe start on the left, but it's drifting in constantly. He likes to drag his fullback, he likes to get in the middle again, he likes to play the cute wee passes, the back heels, the flicks, the tricks, all that malarkey that maybe grab highlight reels and everything like that. But for me, it's the movement, it's the way he goes about his business that has me as a Rangers fan saying, I can see that working. But, and of course there is always a but, people, because I could sit here and do a puff piece and just speak about all the good things and say he's a world beater and ignore all the criticism and pretend that I haven't seen any red flags. But there is always that risk whenever you move in for a signing. It's a 50-50. It either works or it doesn't, people. So I've told you some good things about the laddie because, again, he has got so much talent when he's on it. He burst onto the scene in the Premier League. He got all that English media hype machine behind him. Everybody was loving him. And then the English media does what it does to a lot of young English talents. It just starts to pick away because they love to build people up and they love to tear people down, and he's had a lot of that already at just the age of 24 years old. But one of the most glaring criticisms that you can see of this laddie is consistency, people, because again, burst on to the scene, was heavily expected to move to the likes of Liverpool. What was it? Apparently a £30 million move or whatever it was, people, and then that never happened. And then you've right up here, and again, young players do fluctuate, and then he goes down, and then the media starts digging him, and then it starts doing this, or was he a one-season wonder? Was he this? Was he that? And it's just been that consistent basis, and that's been his biggest issue, people. Again, he's had glimpses, he's had moments. It's not as if he's been struggling overall every single game that he's played over the last 2 years, but it's just been finding that consistent 4 or 5 game spell where he's able to hit them in a row. One good game, disappears for the next one, and aye, people, maybe he lost his way after the failed move to the likes of Liverpool's or whatever, but his struggling over the last 12 to 16 months certainly doesn't take away from what he is able to do on the park when it all goes right. And for me, this is the type of signing that we want to see, because this laddie's ceiling is so damn high. Again, it might not work out, it might go the opposite way, but why no? Why would you not want to sign someone with someone who's already proved he can play at an elite level already and whose ceiling's right up there? For me, it's an absolute no-brainer, and you sit back and you look at this potential deal and maybe the way he struggled over the last 2 years. Can we as a football club benefit maybe for the fact that he has been struggling? Again, there's some things that we'll talk about in the next couple of minutes about Norwich, and it's not really been working. That's probably played its part in why he's been struggling, but can we benefit of that? Get the laddie in the door and Michael Beale tries to get a tune out of him, and if it works, by God, we could be really swimming in it in a couple years' time, and more importantly, have quality and attacking quality in our team. No longer looking at the likes of the bench options versus the Celtics and you say, oh my God, he's coming on. You're looking at this type of talent now, and again, if Michael Beale believes he can get a tune at him, like apparently he can do, then I am all aboard the hype expressed despite the most glaring weaknesses of his consistency. But if you look at the likes, say, the Arebos, the Ryan Kents and everything like that, we've heard this all before, and yes, they've not been world beaters in themselves, but they've certainly added stuff to this Rangers side and they've had their moments. Can Todd? Absolutely. And I'm pretty excited, especially at the age of just 24 years old, people. It's an unbelievable deal, and I know there's a lot of people very frustrated about it, and we'll talk about that and we'll address it next as we move away from the player profile and get to the stats, because again, it's a stats generation. Nobody looks at the player, looks at how he plays and tries to envision how he'll fit into the team. They just look at the stats and say, he's crap. He's terrible. All this. So let's get to some numbers and stats then, shall we? And as always, we'll start off with the most recent season of football, and that's something that's getting heavily reported on right now, because if you look at it, people, in all competitions at my current time of recording, he has played a total of 19 games in all competitions. He has 0 goals, he has 0 assists, and he has 2 yellow cards, which was mostly down to frustration, people. And again, if you just look at that looks terrible. That's no exciting, is it? But again, on this channel, we try and go a wee bit deeper than maybe just the clickbait that's actually out there. Yes, he's played a total of 19 games for Norwich so far this season, but 35% of that was in the starting 11. He has only played 37% of the minutes available this year. Is there any wonder why he's no banging goals and assists every single week if he's getting subbed on 5 minutes here, 4 minutes here, 2 minutes here in the 90th minute, coming on at 15 minutes every now and again? Is there any wonder why he's maybe not playing at his best level if that's the way he's actually getting used? And again, there could be a lot of reasons for that. Apparently there's been some friction between the manager and him, and it's not worked out. He's no happy, but if we get him, I'll be happy. But I just wanted to say that because I know a lot of people was looking at his stats this season, firing in, but that doesn't tell you the actual story, people. He's only been in the starting 11 35% of those games, and he's only played 37% of the minutes available. And without sounding disrespectful to Norwich, because again they're a tremendously well run club in terms of the money they bag every couple of years and everything like that, but if you look at them, how are they regarded? What have we heard about Norwich? They're a yo-yo club. Very good year in the Championship. They got up to the Premier League. They didn't spend any money. They almost accept the fact that they're probably going to go down. They stick to their philosophies and they go down. They go up and down and up and down. Is there any wonder maybe why over years, people, that's rubbed off on a Cantwell when he's no expected to be winning every single week, when he's no got that drive? Is there any reason at the age of 24 years old he's a wee bit lost in the old footballing world? But moving away from his time at Norwich and even his loan spell at Bournemouth in the 2022 season, where he had again some moments but it couldn't quite gel to the level that they wanted it to be. Let's take a step back and look at this man's entire footballing CV. At the age of just 24 years old, he has played a whopping 132 games, with the majority of them being at Championship level and Premier League. It's a decent level to have 132 games, may I add, but he's also had 13 goals and 10 assists during that run as well, which again is not too bad. But it's the yellow cards that I find very interesting to actually talk about, because he's had a whopping 19 in his career, and that really surprised me looking at this laddie again over the last week, because I don't know what it is. Maybe if you look at him, you look at the blonde hair and you see him dancing and everything like that, you think to yourself, again, he's not the biggest like frame about you saying, oh, maybe he'll not get stuck in or he'll not fancy it. But no, he loves to get in, people. He likes to track back, he likes to put a fit in, and he does lose his head on an occasion. It's very similar to when we looked at Ryan Kent years and years and years ago, and I went, this boy's not scoring or assisting much, but by God, does he put himself about? And we've seen that in the Rangers shirt. When it doesn't go right for Kent on the other way, he's usually putting a shift in the other way, and Todd Cantwell fits that bill as well. He's no a luxury player, people. Yes, he might not have the biggest frame. Yes, he's got the big fancy hair. Yes, he does the dancing, but he puts in the hard work as well, and he grafts, people. So that might surprise a lot of people watching today's video, because I'll be honest, it surprised me, and I was sitting watching clip after clip after clip and reading scouting report and player report and match report, and I was going, this guy's absolutely putting in miles in per freaking game. And again, I'm sorry to always go back to the Ryan Kent thing, but if we can get another one like him with the energy going forward but also helping us going back, because we know how our fullbacks like to bomb forward, that just spells quality to me. And there won't be such a drop off when we didn't have the likes of Ryan Kent, or for bringing on substitutes for the bench that has you going, oh no, this game's going to get flung away. We've now got someone who again's got a ceiling really high in football, and if we get him to where he can be, could be a fantastic asset for this football club. But that's the numbers and stats. Hopefully I've addressed some of the questions and complaints and aggression that's actually out there regarding his stats. That's his actual numbers. Now let's talk about, again, very shortly, very short and sweetly, I should say, the old competition for places. Again, he's played the majority of his career, most of his career, sorry, at left mid / left wing. But again, he's never that guy, as I mentioned earlier on in today's video, that's right up at the top left of the park. He loves to get involved. He likes to get the ball at his feet. He likes to dictate, which is why I think it's going to work out very well if he does sign for Rangers. But he also could play centre mid and on the right, as we've already mentioned. So that ticks a lot of boxes and fits what we want today in this football club. So, aye, people, that's the player profile. That's the type of player he is. That's his numbers and stats broke down, and that's the flexibility in the old positions. What you feeling now when you actually get to it? Again, as I'm currently recording today's video, he is not signed already. Rangers haven't made a bid. It's just heavily expected that they will look to a Todd Cantwell. Norwich has already apparently rejected a bid, even though I think that's a little bit there. Come on, Rangers, put in a wee bid now. Come on now. There's an unnamed club that's bid. I think we know what that is. That's Norwich wanting Rangers to actually hurry up and make a move. So do we, Norwich fans. But aye, that's all I've got to say about this one. I do think there is a bit of smoke. That's normally how we end these videos. Do I believe this rumour? Can I see it actually working? Well, the fact that Michael Beale's actually addressed him by name and discussed how much he likes him and the fantastic asset he could be, I think there is certainly a little bit of smoke to this fire, people. So aye, that's my thoughts and opinions on it. I know he's not everyone's cup of tea, but I've been pleasantly surprised looking into him over the last week, and now I've went from quietly excited to pretty damn excited, especially if it happens, because if we get him in for the fee that I think it would actually cost, it's going to be buttons. And then, again, if you get something out of him, that's money to this football club, and more importantly, quality on the actual part. That's what we wanted, people. We didn't want the drop-off, but we knew we've got someone who can do it. And again, if Beale thinks he can unlock the doors, that's good enough for me, because he's not had or not failed just yet. You see the work he's done with the squad that was struggling and toiling under Gio. We knew he's wanting to add his own players in to this team. So, aye, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Rangers Rumour video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on Todd Cantwell. Now you know a little bit more about the laddie. Do you want this signing to happen? Yes or no? Let me know in the comment section below. And again, sorry if it's not been the same standard as always. I am struggling today, people, but I didn't want to let anybody down. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I will be back very, very shortly with either a reaction signing or some more Rangers rumours. I'm going to be busy this month, ladies and gentlemen. And with that being said, as always, Avid Siege over into. Thank you so much for watching. All the best, and bye-bye.